So what's up, guys? I'm here. As I promised in my introduction to Blinky Land and in my 10 subscriber special, I have a Yu-Gi-Oh deck to show off. This one here is my chain deck. Got fancy sleeves, probably some of my favorites, and it's primarily a burn deck. Very defensive. It only has 6 monsters even. Um, and most of my other decks are very, speedy. I have a lot of decks with tuners, and it's about summoning really fast and getting it out, and just general beatdown kind of stuff. So this one is a lot different. It's a lot of fun. It's very methodical. You have to set your chains up the right way, and yeah, it's just a lot of thought put into every move you make. So it's a lot of fun to play if you really like different gameplay than just throwing out some synchros and beating your opponent down. So anyway, we'll just get straight to it. Got one Spirit Reaper. That's it. Two Marshmallons, which is a lot of fun. I'm really glad they are now semi-limited because it just helps out a lot. And then three Giant Germs, just for another 1500 damage. And then, as far as spells, got two Poisons of the Old Man. That can also, again, they can be life gain, if I can remember. Yeah, it's either 1200 life points or 800 damage, which is very nice. And it's a good thing to start off a chain with. Swords, offerings, right, two Offerings to the Doomed. Whoop. Again, it's a good monster nuke, and the draw phase doesn't quite matter because I usually chain it along with a Reckless Greed. So if you activate them at the same time, it doesn't stack. It's just the two draw phases that you have to skip. Which again, this has amazing, ridiculous draw power. So that's usually not a problem. Two Chain Strikes, which is kind of the backbone. You usually end a chain with this. As it deals, I don't even know my own cards, 400 damage per number. So if you were to even start a chain on your opponent's card, your opponent activates a card, and then you activate another 5 cards, it can deal 2,000 damage just for one card. Not even counting what else is going to be within that chain. Then a level limit. Again, it's a good defensive card. So that's it for spells. And then the rest, this is only a 40 card deck, but all of these are traps. So it's a very, very trap heavy deck. Got Magic Cylinder. Good staple. Can deal a lot of damage. Nicely defensive. Transmigration Prophecy. Again, it's just a good chain piece, but you can also throw, it's just 2 cards, right? Yeah. Any 2 cards. So usually I'll pick like a Chain Strike and probably a Marshmallon, since there's only 6 monsters. Gravity Bind, another good defensive. Cyber Shadow Gardna. This is one I've been playing around with. It's a lot of fun, mainly because it's reusable, so you can keep it there to continually set off your chains, and it also gives you technically another free monster. So that's very good. Whoop, change card. 3 Chain Detonations. Very nice. Another 500 each. So if it's at chain 2 or 3, you add it to your deck, so it's recyclable. And if it's at 4 or higher, then you get to put it straight back in your hand, which is really awesome. And then probably one of my favorite heavy hitters, I've got 3 Secret Barrels, which deal 200 to your opponent for each card in their hand and on their field. So it's done a lot of damage on a lot of these. And then 3 Dimension Walls, which is really nice since you're not going to have monsters out all the time. And it's a pretty good burn card, defensive, kind of like 3 free Magic Cylinders since you can only have 1. And then, as far as draw power, this is actually the rest of the traps here. Three reckless greeds. Really nice again. You'll have to skip two draw phases, but usually I'll have like Reckless Greed and like a Jar of Greed and even an Accumulated Fortune, which I'll show later. So that's like 5 cards right away. You throw down, and you have another chain. Problem solved. Just because I have 3 Legacy of Yatas just for the 1 card. That's it. If you happen to face the Spirit deck, bonus. It's just so, because I already have 3 Jars of Greed, you have 3 of those, it's just another link in the chain. And then 3 Accumulated Fortunes. Again, if it's at chain 4 or higher, you draw 2 cards. Unless you have multiple cards in the same chain, that'll never happen. And if you know how to play the deck right, it shouldn't be a problem. And then 2 Jars of Greed, standard, and 2 Chain Healings, just to have them in there. Again, it's just like the Chain Detonation, where if it's at 2 or 3, you put it back in your deck. If it's at 4, you put it back in your hand. So it's recyclable. You'll always have more cards. It's a 40-card deck. There's half of its traps, but you'll be milling through them a lot, and you'll never run out. Pretty much your opponent will be dead right away. So that's pretty much the deck. I've tested it so many times. Usually with friends, we'll have like 4-way duels, and I've had a few times that it burns out, and then it's just absolutely useless after killing off 1 or 2 people. The last couple times I won, and I was being focused because everyone hates this deck. So again, it's a lot of fun. It's a punisher. It's not your traditional burn deck. I think usually you'll have a pyro deck like Volcanic or Laval. I haven't really gotten most of those, but where it focuses on monsters and a lot of that. So usually people have something to counteract monsters, but when you like, I don't know. Usually my turn is I'll draw, lay down my chain, maybe put down a monster, and then the second my opponent's turn starts, I know I usually should wait for them to activate a card. But the second they do, I just like lay it out and then just deal damage and heal and draw cards. And oh, it's so awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not really much. I kind of explained all the gameplay. It's pretty simple. You just need to, usually you'll have like your, I don't know, you do like a Jar of Greed, and then Poison Little Man, and then like a Chain Strike, or Chain Healing, Chain Detonation, and then a Chain Strike. So then you are drawing a card, dealing 800 damage, or gaining 1200 life, and then gaining 500, dealing 500, and then dealing 1600, which is a lot to do in 1 turn. Or inversely, I usually end up getting a lot of draw cards in 1 turn, so you could do like Jar Greed, Legacy, Reckless Greed, Accumulated Fortune, and then usually I'll end up having Offerings to Doomed in there, so I'll only have to skip 2 draw phases. I have just drawn 6 cards, which is really, really awesome. So yeah, that's just kind of a short run through. Again, it's totally focused on burning, with a slight bit of defense, just because it is kind of a squishy deck otherwise. But that's why there isn't anything else. It is bare bones. Anything that is not focused on either limited survivability or punishing your opponent, it has no place in the deck. When I first started out on this, there's the whole like chain archetype with like Vanity's Ruler, Chain Thrasher, Beastman of Ares, where they get so many bonuses depending on how many chains that have been activated in the turn, which is kind of cool. But I discovered this deck when I was building it, and it just had a lot more viability, and It's a lot more threatening. Definitely. It's not a fun little mechanic. It is a burn. Again, it's a burn deck. But yeah. Anyway, I'll probably be doing more videos if this gets a good reception. I've got a very good Naturia deck going right now. I'm going to be building a Dark Scorpion out of my current Warrior deck. I've always ran a Warrior deck since I started, like back in LOD. You know, the good times when they introduced Running Captain and Don the Luke and all the fun guys. So that's why I really want to do a Dark Scorpion deck. Currently, it's just a Warrior deck. It's kind of it's a basic beatdown, beat stick kind of deck. But the Dark Scorpion is going to be a good milling deck, and it's going to just disable the opponent. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just built a Tele-Psychic deck with the whole RFG mechanic, the new one, but I haven't gotten to test it out. It looks like a lot of fun, so once I get that out, I'll show it off. I've got a Kokai deck. I think that's about it. I'm trying to build an Inca deck. If you have it, it's like the Sun Dragon of Inti and the Moon Dragon Quila and all those. But it's really expensive. I haven't been able to find too many cards. So yeah, that's really all I've got right now. That's really that great. I've got a good Ojama deck, so I might do a video on that. But anyway, I'll have more of those up later, depending on this reception, or not. Honestly, I just put videos up for funs. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.